Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Baker Turtle here, and I am bringing you a Pokemon Draft League video. And man, it has been so long. It's been over a year, I believe, that it's got to be over a year that I've done a YouTube video, that I've actually even participated in Draft League Battles. And I am, making my return, coming out of retirement, to participate in the PFL Majors Season 12. So we are bringing it back, the Pokefighters League, Majors and Minors, Season 12. Today, I'm going to be going over the team that I drafted. So, just a few notes ahead of time. It is mid-July. We're going to be starting our season pretty soon. On the 18th of July will be week 1. And so expect a battle video every week. And actually, after this video, I will be posting a power rankings video going over every drafted team for majors and minors. I probably will be separating those two videos just to make it easier, but I will be going over that. I already have the rankings done, just need to make the videos. And hopefully we are timing this season for the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That should be coming out in November, and that should be very fun and exciting. But without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the team that I drafted. I was number 4 in the draft position, and my top 3 picks were literally sniped right before me. 1, 2, 3. My top being Mega Lopunny. I wanted to draft that, and then after that it was Dragapult, and then after that I was going to go for the Mega Mawile, but none of those ended up on my team. And after that I didn't really have much of a plan going into it. I learned after many seasons not to have a plan, and because snipes will ruin the whole team, and you just got to be able to build a team with what is available. If you want to draft the best team, that's pretty much where you gotta go. You can't go into thinking, oh, I want to build a sand team, I want to build a sun team, or I want this Pokemon, I want that Pokemon. You can't be doing that, because you're gonna get sniped and it's gonna ruin your whole plan. So I was thinking, another thing I like to do, another strategy I like to do, is I like to dip down into the lower tiers and get first dibs at the lower tiers, because there's some hidden gems down there in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 that people won't draft first round. They're going to go for the tier 1 picks. They're going to go for their mega picks, and they're going to overlook these. And so you can, in tier 1s and megas are already pretty good. They're all pretty much good. So you're guaranteed to draft at least one. So I wanted to save my tier 1 towards the end, because regardless I was going to get something good. So my first pick decided to go with Scizor, because to me Scizor at tier 2 is an absolute steal. It's steel type, and I think it's a tier 1 because of just how versatile it is, what it can do, and how threatening it is, and just how many different viable movesets it can have. I have here, the Swords Dance set, so a setup set. It can be fully offensive with these stats. Look at the attack stat 130, good natural bulk with 100 defense, 80 special defense, and 70 HP. Not very fast at all, but it does have bullet punch for priority. It does get defog and a U-turn for good for momentum. It can also take hits. It can roost. Let's go through the move pool real quick. So it could actually it can curse up and counter. That's an actually very interesting set that it can do. It can, like I said, defog, so it's going to be a very good defogger. What else? Dual Wing Beat. I guess that's good for coverage, but not really. Knockoff is huge. Knockoff is very good, especially for those Eviolite users. It also gets Pursuit and Superpower, good for coverage, and like I said, U-turn to get that momentum going, and Technician ability, all that jazz. So I really love Scizor. It can run Choice Band. It can run Assault Vest. It can run Leftovers. It can even be bulky Rocky Helmet. Whatever you need it to do, it's going to do that for you. And only one weakness with fire, and a great offensive steel type. Good for those fairies. Next up, I actually was going to go down more into tier 3, but I was like, you know what? Zygarde going, because I was at the end of round 2, I was like, Zygarde is this actual steal at tier 1, and 1,000 Arrows just like obliterates every team. If this can get going, it can actually literally sweep teams. So I was like, you know what? Let me get this before somebody else gets it. And I just kind of threw my whole plan out the window of like, let me go into the lower tiers. So decided to go for Zygarde here. Pairs up with my Scizor for my Steel and Dragon Core. Just need my Fairy type. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe Mega Gardevoir, Mega Diancie, or even going into tier 2 for a Fairy or something. So I was keeping my Fairy option open, but decided to go with 1,000 Arrows, Zygarde here. And I can also set up with Coil, and as you know, Dragon Dance as well. Gets extreme speed, Glare for reliable paralysis, and gets Dragon Tail, can phase Pokemon out. And what else? Gets Haze, which is I guess can be useful. Probably won't use that. Iron Tail, good for the coverage for fairies in case that needs to happen. I got my Outrage for my dragon coverage. What else? Also gets Sludge Wave. Interesting enough. But it can do Rest Sleep Talk. So that's a good set. It could be bulky Rest Sleep Talk. I love my Rest Talk sets. It gets Toxic as well. Zen Headbutt. Superpower, Substitute. So a lot of good moves, but mostly going to be that setup with Coil or Dragon Dance and the extreme speed, 1,000 Arrows, Outrage, things like that. Very good. And Rest can give it recovery. And just look at these stats. That natural bulk with 108 HP. So don't need to put a lot of EVs into HP. That good natural defense with 121 and 95. A really good speed, very underrated speed there. And 100 attack, so it's going to need those boosts with Coil and Dragon Dance. Next up, I had to get my my Milotic. And at this point, it's starting to look like a typical Scott team. A typical Baker Turtle team with Scizor and Milotic. Some veterans on the team. I love Milotic. Love it. Because it's just so bulky. You know, look at that. HP with 95. 120 special defense, so you don't really need to put a lot of EVs into special defense unless you want to make it specifically special defensive. But mostly going to have it physically bulky with the Marva Scale ability, maybe with a Flame Orb. You can sponge some statuses like a Paralysis as well in case that needs to go down. It does get Flip Turn. I like that it gets momentum now with Flip Turn. It could be that fourth move in case you don't need like Ice Beam or you don't need Toxic or Haze or whatever. So you can have Recover. Has to be a staple. Needs to recover. And then Scald is just one of the best moves in the game. Honestly, just a straight up stab, Scald, burn chance. And then you know it suffers from the four move slot syndrome. So Dragon Tail is a viable option. Haze, Ice Beam. What else? You know, Toxic, like I said. Weather Ball is interesting in draft. And don't really like to go down here as much. Mirror Coat, I guess. But that's about it. Then I wanted to get a good fire type. A good fire type is hard to come by, and they were starting to get taken. And I didn't want a Mega fire type, or I didn't want a Tier 1 fire type. Or even Tier 2. I just, you know, an Incineroar is a steal at Tier 3, honestly, in my opinion. With the Intimidate ability and that natural bulk. Look at that, 95 HP, 90 defense, 90 special defense. Defensively, it is bulkier than Milotic. Just think about that. Defensively, physically, defensively, it is bulkier than Milotic, especially with Intimidate. It doesn't even need Intimidate. Unfortunately, it is fire type, so it is weak to a lot of things. Water, ground, rock. Is that it? I think so. So I guess it's not too weak, but with the added dark type as well, fighting types. So, but it's pretty good. It's very good, all around good stats. Just doesn't have the speed, but it does get flame charge. So, very interesting about this set is I can run very different sets. It could be a choice band, it could be like offensive, it could be assault vest, it could be heavy duty boots, it could be like it can have a berry to boost the speed. It can do a lot of things, and bulk up is good with setup. It also gets knockoff. Here, let me go here. So flame charge, gonna boost that speed, that stab fire type. Then it gets parting shot. Parting shot is very, very good because gets that momentum and it lowers the attack and special attack, so it can be setup fodder. So, you know, if a Pokemon is weak, I can switch out into maybe like a Zygarde or a Scizor or my other Pokemon that you can't see yet. But I just love that it gets the stab knockoff. Let's see some other coverage moves. Close combat, very good fighting type move. Darkest Lariat, that's going to be coming in handy for some Pokemon, especially if they start boosting their defense. What else? Drain Punch to get that health back. Earthquake, it gets priority with Fake Out. I can do some Endeavor. Shenanigans, Fire Punch for that stab fire. Flare Blitz as well. It does get special attacks like Focus Blast, Flamethrower. Yeah, Iron Head, good for those fairies. Very good, Iron Head. It also gets Leech Life, so I can heal some more. Low Kick. Scorching Sands is very interesting. Swords Dance, it gets that Swords Dance setup. Taunt. Throat Chop for those Sylveons. Toxic U-Turn and Will-O-Wisp. And Thunder Punch gets that Thunder Punch for the water types. So very good coverage overall. I love it. I love that how strong it is. Base 115 attack. And it gets the momentum. Really loving the momentum here. So 3 out of 4 Pokemon so far with momentum. A couple knockoff users already. And we're just getting started. Next up, I decided to go for one of the best grass types in the game. Especially in Draft League. At a tier 3. Which is, again, a steal, so I decided to try this out. I never tried it before, so interesting to see how it'll go. But base 100 all around. It's one of those mythical, legendary Pokemon. It gets Healing Wish, so this is my Cleric for now. It can get Aromatherapy. It gets Healing Wish, so, you know, maybe at the end of the game, I can just Healing Wish something up, go straight into it, and then set up and sweep and win. Heal something on. Maybe my Zygarde has gotten poisoned and it's at like 25%, something like that. I don't know. But then, you know, the Seed Flare, Earth Power for coverage, Synthesis, so it gets that reliable recovery, unless, you know, obviously there's rain or sand. But let's go ahead and look through some of the coverage we got here. Air Slash, very good for coverage as well. Maybe for something like a Mungus or something. Like I said, it gets Aromatherapy, Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Endeavor, Giga Drain, Healing Wish, Leech Seed. So Leech Seed could come in handy as well. With the Protect, it gets Psychic coverage. It can also go physical with Seed Bomb. But, you know, and it does get Swords Dance. I don't know. It gets Tailwind, which is interesting. Toxic and Zen Headbutt. So, you know, just very good coverage. Just your natural grass type, and yeah, it can take some status attacks as well with the natural cure. And I like the Shaman pick here. I decided to go for my tier 5. So this is when I started to thinking about how to plan my picks ahead. At this point, I was pretty much guaranteed my mega, which was Mega Diancie. At this point, I'm okay. Like everybody pretty much picked their mega, and those that didn't already had their fairy type. And then also my tier 1, I was like not really thinking about that. So my last 2 picks were already kind of settled. And so I was like, let me go into the tier 5s, the tier 4s, and stuff like that. So I decided to get Haunter, which is one of the best tier 5 picks with that speed, base 95, and the special attack 115. It's just as good as some fully evolved Pokemon when it comes to offensive power. Unfortunately, the defenses are, you know, something to be desired with 45 HP, 45 defense. So like a Shadow Sneak can knock this thing out. A Bullet Punch or, you know, a Sucker Punch. You know, something really, really simple priority can knock this thing out. Mostly this thing will be just offensive, Life Orb, Choice Scarf, Choice Specs. I'm not going to do like some Black Sludge shenanigans. Like I said, look, like you can see with the moves, it gets a Destiny Bond, Sludge Wave, Trick, Dazzling Gleam for some coverage right here. Dazzling Gleam for the dark types. It can trick a choice item on. Destiny Bond if you're Scarf and you just want to take a Pokemon down. It gets Dark Pulse. Disable, which is more for like a Gengar type. Gets Giga Drain coverage. Hex, interesting enough, it also gets a knockoff. Psychic coverage is good. Obviously, Shadow Ball is going to be your main offensive attack there with Sludge Wave. It gets Taunt. It gets Electric coverage with Thunderbolt, Toxic Trick, Will-O-Wisp. You know, just like basically what a Gengar does, but just weaker. It's a weaker version of a Gengar. And it also does get the Levitate. So Levitate coming in handy here. Going to be able to switch on those ground types. Maybe like on an Incineroar, try to take a ground hit. So I can switch into Haunter. So that's the first 6. And then now I'll be switching to my last 5 Pokemon. Alright, y'all. So here is the next 5 Pokemon that I drafted. I decided to go with Hitmontop next. Again, taking steals at the lower tiers. This is a tier 4. Shockingly, I thought it would be a tier 3 this season, but no, it is a tier 4. Hitmontop with the Rapid Spin, my Rapid Spinning Fire type, the Hitmon that can spin and is bulky. Unlike Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, this thing can come in and take hits. Check out that defense, 95. Special defense, 110. Unfortunately, I wish it didn't get more HP, and it only has 50, so that could be a pain, but I think it does get Pain Split. So that actually comes in handy. Does it? No, it does not. So that is unfortunate. But as you can see with some of these moves, is really come in handy. Rapid Spin, Mach Punch, Pursuit for those ghost types. Sucker Punch as well for the psychic or ghost types. It gets Intimidate, so it can come in and intimidate a Pokemon. It also gets Technician, so things like Mach Punch will be doing more, or Pursuit if it doesn't switch out. So, and let's look at more coverage that Hitmontop gets. It does get some setup with Agility and Bulk Up. A Bullet Punch, more priority. Close Combat for your super extra strong stab fighting move. Gets Curse as well. Drill Run. Earthquake. So, does it get high horsepower? No. So, you know, for those grassy terrain moments where Earthquake is weak, I don't know, maybe you want to run Drill Run. Endeavor is really good because it is very bulky and it tends to get really low on HP. And so you can Endeavor the opponent and then priority Mach Punch into Oblivion. Fake Out, so Fake Out, Mach Punch, Endeavor, something like that. Could be a hit. You know, Low Kick for those heavy Pokemon. Let's see. Dang, this has so much priority with Quick Attack now. And interesting, I forgot that Rapid Spin actually raises the speed, so this could be an offensive threat with Rapid Spin. It gets the Rock Slide and Stone Edge coverage for those flying types. And interesting, the triple for the flying types as well, so maybe something like a Landorus. But yeah, so Toxic as well. So this is very good fighting type in the tier 4 with Rapid Spin. So this is, along with Scizor as my defogger, this is also one of my hazard removals. And yeah, at this point, I'm thinking, dang, I really need my Stealth Rocker. I need a bulky Psychic type. And I was, you know, things were starting to get sniped that I wanted to take. But at some point, I was getting really scared that someone was going to snipe my Thundurus. And at this point, I was really locked in on having Thundurus, so I really wanted to draft it. So I decided to go for it next. And man, I love Thundurus. This is also a veteran to the team. I've had this a couple times. Just the offensive and the physical and special coverage that it gets is just insane. As you can see with Knockoff, Grass Knot, Nasty Plot for setup, Thunder Wave, it gets Prankster, so all these status moves can go first. So the Grass Knot coverage is for them water ground types, or just those ground types in general. So it can go physical or special with Crunch or Dark Pulse. Also gets Defog, but probably won't be wasting a move for Defog here. Discharge, Flash Cannon coverage, Focus Blast coverage, Foul Play, Hammer Arm, HP Ice, Iron Tail, Knockoff, Psychic, what else? Sludge Wave, Superpower, Taunt, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, U-Turn, Toxic, Weather Ball, Wild Charge. So you never know what this thing is going to do. You know it's going to attack. You know it's going to be extra strong because look at these stats. 115 attack, 125 special attack, and that very unique speed at 111. So it's going to be outspeeding those base 110s, which is very, very key. And actually a pretty decently bulky with 79 HP, 70 defense, 80 special defense. So it's going to be able to take a hit or two. Yeah, so this is a very good electric type. Got that coverage to hit the ground types and everything. So really like Thundurus here. Next up, we have Mesprit. So this is my bulky psychic type. I was kind of going back and forth with this or Musharna in tier 5. I can get a steel in tier 5 with Musharna as a psychic type because that gets reliable recovery with, I think, Moonlight. You know, it's semi-reliable, you know, depending on the weather. But Mesprit doesn't get reliable coverage, which is the downfall for me. I don't like having a bulky psychic type and it not being able to recover. I don't like that. And but it does get so many other good things. As you can see, reflect, it can set screens, reflect, light screen. It can healing wish also. So same thing that Shaman can do. It can set some screens, healing wish out, and then heal something up and then set up, which is amazing to be able to do. It gets that momentum as well with U-turn. Knockoff, so love that Pokemon get knockoff. You can just knock off all the items, the heavy duty boots, the Eviolites, the choice scarfs, and the life orbs, and the rocky helmets, you know, whatever it needs to knock off. And then obviously, definitely what I needed was Stealth Rock. So I needed a Pokemon to set the Stealth Rock. And it also gets Levitate again, so very good to be able to switch into ground type moves. So not really worried about grounds at all at this point with Shaman, Milotic, Haunter having Levitate, this having Levitate, Thundurus being a flying type, you know, a couple Intimidators, you know, I ain't scared of no ground type. And let's just take a look at some of the coverage that Mesprit gets because, again, this thing is a steal at tier 4. I repeat, a steal. If only it got coverage, this thing would be like tier 1, honestly. But it gets Calm Mind setup. It gets Dazzling Gleam coverage. And look at these stats. 105 from attack to special defense. So it can be physical, it can be special, physically defensive, specially defensive, and that 80 speed is definitely respectable. A good amount of HP as well, so it can take some hits. So again, let's look through. So it can be physical or special. So that means Drain Punch is viable. Energy Ball. Extrasensory. You're not going to use Extrasensory. Fire Punch is viable. Grass Knot. Like I said, Healing Wish is there. Ice Beam is there. Ice Punch is there. Nasty Plot setup, so it can be super especially offensive. Play Rough, Power Up Punch, Psychic, Psycho Cut, Shadow Ball. It gets Rest, so it can heal that way. Stored Power, if you're going to do like Calm Mind and... Does it get Agility? No Agility. So like Calm Mind and... I don't know, what else can it set up? Nasty Plots? Yeah, Stored Power is not going to be something you'll use. But Thunderbolt coverage, so the Bolt Beam, it gets Toxic, Trick, U-Turn, Zen Headbutt. So a lot of good moves that it can use. And like I said, get that natural bulk. Very, very bulky. Next up, decided to go with Tauros. So actually, I had drafted Zangoose, but immediately switched it for Tauros at the end of the draft once this was available. Wanted this because of that base 110 speed, a little bit more speed, some offensive presence with that base 100 attack. And then with Intimidate, adds another Intimidate, so it can be bulky, or Sheer Force. This is what I wanted it for. Sheer Force, Life Orb is going to be hitting a shit ton hard. Pursuit for those ghost types. It's a normal type, so I can switch into ghost types, take a ghost hit, doesn't affect me. And then Pursuit, maybe it's choiced, I don't know, but and then also Zen Headbutt, Secret Power, Earthquake. So these are going to be some of the main attacks. Body Slam is probably going to be... Actually, why do I have Secret Power? You're going to want Body Slam. What the fuck? Yeah, Body Slam is the move that you want. Close Combat, Earthquake. What are we doing? Earthquake. It actually can be Flamethrower, Fire Blast. It can be Ice Beam, Iron Head, High Horsepower, Mega Horn, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Throat Chop, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Wild Charge, Zen Headbutt. So a lot of these good coverage moves, especially like Zen Headbutt, Wild Charge, Throat Chop. You know, it's a good dark move for ghost types. But a lot of good coverage. And like I said, with Sheer Force, it's going to be doing a lot of damage here. And that speed is important here. And then last, but certainly not least, wanted to save my Mega Diancie for last. This thing is a beast. Look at those stats. You know, base 110 speed. It's going to be outspeeding a lot of Pokemon. Base 160 special attack. Base 160 regular attack. And then the 110 defenses. It's going to be able to take a hit. Even though it has 50 HP, it's still going to be able to take a hit, definitely. And look at that coverage. It gets Diamond Storm for the rocks, Mystical Fire. It also gets Earth Power, and then it's got Rock Polish set up. It can also set Stealth Rocks. Magic Bounce being my ability. I can bounce back some hazards as well, some status moves. This thing cannot get statused, so unless it's passive, obviously, like an effect of a move. But like no Thunder Wave, no Toxic, no Will-O-Wisp, nothing like that. No Spore. But so I can set up Calm Minds. I can set up, like I said, Rock Polish. It gets Earth Power, like I said, for those Steel types or Poison types. It gets Heal Bell, which, you know, maybe I'll use. I don't know. It gets Screens in case I want to set some screens for like maybe Zygarde or something. Maybe Incineroar. Maybe I can use Power Gem if I don't want to use Diamond Storm, because Diamond Storm is physical and it has a chance to miss. Mystical Fire, like I said, Psychic for like Amoonguss, those grass poison types. What else? Yeah, so it can substitute Stored Power if it gets those defensive boosts and Calm Minds up and all that stuff. But this thing is definitely a threat. Not many can withstand a Mega Diancie. And I took one of the best checks to it with Scizor. So, you know, you're going to need like a Bullet Punch to hit this. Maybe a super strong Choice Band Aqua Jet or something. You're going to need something fast to hit it, because this is going to probably kill you if you don't have the bulk for it. So that's the team, everyone. Thank you all for checking out the video. And stay tuned for more videos in the future. Going to be doing a rankings video. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a battle every week. So look forward to that. And I also made some changes for week 3, but I'll be doing another video later describing what changes I've made. And hopefully it made my team better. So we're just going to have to wait and see how the season goes. So if you guys would please kindly like the video, comment down below if you have faith who you think the MVP is going to be on the team. Maybe make some predictions if I'm going to make playoffs, what you think my record will be, how far you think I'll get. Am I going to be champion? Who knows? We're just going to have to wait and see. So stay tuned, everyone. And again, thank you for watching the video. Peace out, everyone. Until next time.